A subcontract order must benefit you, the subcontractor, otherwise there's little point in entering the contract in the first place. You will reach the later stages of the contract works where you might as well be supplying labour for free. Where you're being asked to provide a warranty, for example, where you have any design responsibility in the contract, you should really have the opportunity to consider whether or not the warranty is too extensive or it reasonably covers the limit of what you're being asked to perform. Subcontract terms and conditions have rules that must be followed by both parties. It is important that you don't agree to anything verbally without having that immediately followed up in writing. Payment applications must be fully compliant, which means that when you make an application for payment, you must follow the contract that you've entered into. That application requires to follow a particular timetable, and how it reads, its terms have to follow in line with the contract. Subcontractors should address any differences as they arise rather than adopting a head in the sand or wait and see approach, hoping and praying that any differences will be resolved further down the line. Subcontractors require to know what happens at practical completion and the effect of signing off on same. Subcontractors also require to understand the final account process. Simply because they have left site does not bring an end to matters. And it is just as important to ensure that you properly submit a final account as much as it is important to have submitted proper applications for payment all the way along the contract. Importantly, retention is not usually automatically released. Retention requires to be applied for, and so you need to know when and how you can apply for that retention. Finally is the question of liability for latent defects. It is important that the subcontractors keep a record of what has gone on site, so that they are not expected to take responsibility for matters that were no fault of their own, but were perhaps the fault of another trade or even the main contractor, or indeed faults that have occurred post-completion.